Ladies and gentlemen, beasties and ballers, welcome to the Neo Crown series. I am your commentator, Nero, joined here by my friend Skarme.
Hello, welcome to Neo Crown Series Division 3 Playoffs.
Holy shit, playoffs!
Playoffs! It's our first playoffs actually, because Division 3 was the smallest, but don't let that fool you, it is some high-level bowling.
But it is. There's no room for the weak in the Neo Crown series.
Or Beastie Ball in general, honestly.
It's just, I've seen some scary teams, and then I saw some scary teams that lost too. It's a battleground.
Are we going over the teams before we hop in, Ultra?
I'm pretty sure that we are. In fact, yeah, looking at it, Sleepy seems to be running 2 zigzags.
A very zigzag team.
Yeah, this tactical pass, excited pass, forward pass, lots of ways to capitalize on that damage.
Zigzag is definitely a very strong mind attack contender as far as those go. The main issue with it is that you have to volley to use it, and so the opponent has a bit of control over it. But you see here, Sleepy has done their level best to make sure that's as difficult as possible with this slippery redirection one side, and the Collidon, which is just a death knell to target, on the other side, and also a bouncy skiffrig for good measure. So
bouncy skiffrig with provoke, no less.
I do note that yes, Sleepy has been low-key a very scary player ever since Draft League, and I remember Rambler was one of their favorites there. So it's a very characteristic kind of team, even though I wasn't entirely sure what to expect.
Fallback on the Gremlin is an interesting idea that we'll have to explore in the game. For now, UnknownGuitar rocking a tri-type steamer, Sauna, Scaldra with Clearfield, Bring the Heat, Charge, Plation. I don't see that too much in favor of Vicious, with Stinger and Nerve Strike and a lot of Sweaty going around the field. It looks like a good idea.
What
well
stands out to me right away is that there is some incredible bulk there. These are some of the bulkiest beasties in the game, and with Drum and Rumpus up, they can heal off a lot of damage, but the trade-off is that apart from the mass scurry, their offenses may take a couple of turns to really ramp to their full potential. But they have the bulk to buy that team, so let's see how they do.
Yeah. I like plus 30 power for bounce bongus. That's always a fun.
Hey, if it's in the front
Looks
row,
like.
it can do the numbers.
Alright, we're gonna be heading into game one. We're gonna see what the whimsical
Starting
wizards
with the
are doing.
Collider, nice. Oh, for this.
Oh.
Oh, Twist or Swarm.
Just it's choice between getting your BCs to the front or starting with your redirection ready, and it turns out we're gonna be starting with the redirection ready. Twist serve is honestly I think it's slept on.
It is very strong. I mean, a lot of the top players rate it higher than maybe the hoi polloi do. Um, it does it in return for being possible to build around. It does just straight up shut down a lot of setups. So we'll see it going into the curry to stop that powerful body attack because the Pladion is not online very much yet.
Heat up coming out, of course.
Mm-hmm.
One of the value generating moves in the game. You said it once and your opponent has to deal with it for the rest of their life unless they have Chant, which Sleepy does not.
You do have to slightly choose between big damage or getting their drum and their bulk up front here.
Also noticing that immediately we
Trump.
decide to, we abandon the redirection and put Bandicraft on the field. Oh! Excited pass counters Weepy. Could have. I didn't even.
Makes a lot of sense, yeah. Very valuable to have Excited Pass on this sort of team because otherwise you do very little against Stinger, and Stinger is so common lately.
That's true. You kind of have
With
to
the
go
captain,
for the
it gets
zigzag
to the
now.
front, so it can still do a front row zigzag, but it could also go for the twist again.
The only way
now
to
the
stop
drum is
twist
up, that
to
curry
tough,
might start ramping, and that's scary.
The only way to stop the twist is to tough. Remember, zigzag.
Ooh,
Walk up just for the
out.
vibes. That's a good call out. Oh, that nerf strike's already doing some damage too, by the way. Oh, good lord.
Nerf strike does that, yeah.
Oh yeah, Plation's
After 2
online
turns
already,
of-
by the way.
Yep. Only really needs that one spare turn to start swinging with the best of them.
That's true.
And
Hits
the
the
heat
nerf
up
strike
on
into
counter
the
serve
front.
very nasty. Oh,
Right
into the
the loving arms of a
collider!
collider. No.
But
Oh,
is
no.
this really the best? I guess it can clear field, but I don't know if this comp makes the best use of it.
That's a double tactic pass into the excited
That
tool.
Pladion will live though. It has a huge mind defense.
That's also true. It's not. It's close. It's way closer than I thought it would be. Yeah.
It does surprise me that this is not a zigzag bandy, because bandy is another common zigzagger with its excited pass, but they went for the consistency of tool. But in this case, it. Oh, okay, sacking them. Either sacking or.
Oh, that was a full health. I think they just did the math wrong. Lord knows I would have. Swarm up to the front.
True, that was 3 boosts there.
Yeah, it's a tough call to
count
see
on the
if
fly
it
sometimes.
somewhat.
Not quite as bad as zigzag, which notoriously melts people's brains, including mine, but still.
The greatest thing you can be in Beastie Ball is a mathematician. Speaking
That's
of math,
true.
Stomp's on the field now.
Stomp is on the field now.
You have.
It could have been that tag out was to preserve that Masquerade because that is one of their bigger sources of damage here, and they are able to go to for the corner shot.
Oh, it
If
looks
they
like.
move back to respect the corner shot, then they take a full power stomp.
Oh, reach shot instead. Oh my god, the call out of call outs.
Damn.
Yeah, you can't get a good attack except for Swarm this turn now.
Well,
Masquerade just gets some more chances to heal.
And a completely free block. Because Stomp would normally shut off that block.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Oh, is this the line for Tortanker here?
What line?
You have, it's double chant, which isn't at the current moment is not useful unless you want to put Pladion up a half a turn earlier than it would be able to go otherwise. But no, we bring Skuldra in. Okay. Is it a pass drum steamer?
Well, they can't repeat the reach shot trick because Collidon's in the front now.
Yeah. And also you have no back row.
Yeah.
Looks like they're calling it out. Block it to the back, drum. The steamer still comes out, so it's not It's not the worst case scenario. Still get
Pretty
two
good call
squatty on
out
the
for a double
background.
block if you're going for it, because that's like the
Yeah.
upfront damage doesn't matter on that one.
Worth noting that Kalidon does just explode if the double block
Hmm.
is wrong there. So very, very gutsy from SleepyHR.
Honestly, I might have taught it down in favor of Zigzag just now, but that tool is pretty scary for this team, isn't it? Because they're, other than Pladion, their mine defense is not great.
Yeah, you
And
kind of have to
it goes
constantly set
down.
up these
Damn.
serves. Oh my lord.
Sleepy is in a very good position.
Yeah, up 2-0. Bench is looking lively.
Their bench is taken a little sweaty, which is not ideal, but like the squadron's not on the field.
Yeah, you get this swarm up again, which is the most important part.
Mm.
Also, it's another front row back row situation here. You could corner shot. However, making the call to come back immediately. And it does look like the corner shot is coming out into Kalidon. Oh no!
No respect, yeah. Honestly,
Back to
without Pladion.
Oh, that's game. Now have it 102 over Tortanker.
If I was a guitar, because I have left that can take that. Damn! What?
That was a fast 3-0 for this team. Whoa.
That tool, yeah.
Oh, zigzag.
Into this team are very fancy. So
Oh
we're going
goodness. We're going right back into it. What adjustments
right
do you
back
think
into
we're gonna
it.
have to...
1.2.
Nothing. What adjustments do you
Sleepy,
think
it's
we're
of
gonna have
course
to see
best
from?
of 3, like the rest of the league has been.
Ooh.
Right back into it, I guess. From guitar, I noticed he's changed up his lead, but still leading on that heat up. Like heat up is very good if he can drag these points out. But we saw the Kalidon is very suited to not dragging points out at all with those explosive like double volleys.
Yeah. It's a tricky
Well,
situation.
Carpely
for
pretty
Guitar. You'd
good
have to...
here because he doesn't have to fear the bounce either. Like, they don't have to fear the bounce either.
No, not especially. It's a plus 30 bongus bounce. It's not gonna kill you. You'd have to make a lot of adjustments.
It'll hurt score Carpy,
take
but
this back.
it's not gonna take the point.
Ooh, okay. You can't get the double provoke off, but you still do have the free ball, so it's not. You have zigzag on both BCs here as well.
Yep.
So it is still
Stopping
scary.
that heat
but
up is
it's
big
coming up.
value, yeah, because that seems to be a big source of damage on this bulky team.
Yeah.
The sauna heat up.
The only thing that I would say is this Guitar's favor right now is that switching out the bongus. Okay, flow is off the field and eliminates everything I was about to say.
Got Carpy
walk
not
up
in great
and
health.
play.
I think we might see a sack there because it's gonna drain itself next turn anyway. Oh no!
Oh no, we're
Uh,
going, we're running it. Oh shoot!
They're going for it. Oh, that's brave.
Hit with the stinger. You got the excited pass, but you don't have any other boosts for
Can't-
it, and you
can't
will
provoke
have to.
In that case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big problem.
Wonder if they.
I don't. It's a
Yeah, getting
Ballsy
one of the
decision.
heat ups off the field is pretty big value, even if.
This is
Well,
true.
they didn't get the
Zigzag's still
excited
doing a
pass,
lot of
interesting.
damage relative for what the move should be doing.
Even at one volley, it's on par with other like common mind attacks. So,
Terrifying.
it's a move you have to respect as long as it's not in the serve slot.
This is true. Circling over to
Um,
the offense turn here, you have Nerve Strike
So
or Stinger.
Pladion's
Double blocking
Pladion's
over either way.
damage is building up, but
Yeah, it's not quite online yet. You can't threaten a KO quite
not
this
quite
moment.
yet. They're opting to
Stinger
stay in.
into you. Double block comes out into the Pladion. Stinger onto.
Oh, that is. Either of them can get double zigzag in this case. That's not.
Yeah, also it's another 50-50 here, but a little bit
Mhm.
later with a little bit stronger of a board position for a good guitar.
I think there's no way to stop something taking that 2 volley zigzag in the front row.
And yet,
Although
not gone for.
Pladion's bulky enough to heat it right now, I suppose.
it's quite fascinating.
Hmm.
Yeah, Scaldra staying. Yeah, Scaldra doesn't stay on this board. Platinum
64
stays.
to Pladion is not negligible.
No, it is not. The only thing that can be hit by a Nerve Strike really hard here is the Platinum. No, is the what's your face? Feather the Skiff Rig. However, Corner Shot is still a mix-up that can be gone for. Not buying
going
it.
for it.
Not
Trying to
buying
get
it. That's
the
a scary
damage
thing.
in.
If you hit into that bottom slot again, says no. 60 damage to the Bandicraft, dead in one more hit. This
I wonder
bench
if they
is
were
looking worse and
fishing
worse.
for the Collidon hit and didn't get it, but still, Bandit can shrug off the stinger.
Yeah, that is a boosted tool as well. I don't
Mhm.
think a block lets you live. We're trying it anyway.
Not quite.
White
Oh,
goes down.
very close though.
Highly, highly close. Coming back in. At least you know that Tortanker's the one getting hit on this serve unless you free ball down. A death
It's
sentence
only
for
1
most
point
teams.
up, but now Guitar's best mind defensive guy is offline for a bit, which is
I mean, the difference between these benches
potentially
between the last two
scary.
games is incredible, right? You have
Mhm.
Bandicraft on 12, you have Skull Copy on 21. Skiffrig has taken a sneeze of damage. And
Mhm.
Guitar's bench by comparison looks a lot better because it is made up of those more bulky PCs. Masquerie in the front now. With that stomp in hand.
Sleepy is
Hitting
being
it to
very
Skiffer.
courageous about these like low HP tag outs. Probably one.
A walk-up zigzag is a very dangerous thing here, especially with that tactical pass. It
Oh,
does
look at
barely
that
get the
damage,
kill on
and they
Masquerie.
can't block it this turn.
Another
That's
walk
the
backward
downside
would
of
have to be the
Stomp.
movement here. Let's see if they spot it.
You walk back and then you could eat a dump again if you. Although that skiff is very low, so maybe not.
It's one of these difficult situations to find yourself in. No! The
Oh!
threshold is met! 2-0
For the
suddenly!
dump.
It looks right in Sleepy's favor.
Oh, these reads are
Oh,
brutal.
no!
Sleepy is on fire.
That's crazy. It's been such a fast match, such a fast pace for these teams, good lord!
Seriously.
You only have 2 sideways moves now, but both of them seem to spell the same tragic end. Which line is better? I would think bounce to the front just
They've
to...
done such a surgical
just
job
crazy.
of just removing Guitar's offense, because they're very bulky, but if they can't close it out, then...
Yeah, it's
Although
kind of a messy
I think
situation.
maybe they're banking on
Uh-oh!
closing out before the... Oh, the call out!
Now that's a double tactical pass, a zigzag coming in. Oh, walk to the front, never mind. Is this the right play? I'm not sure, but the dump is also a possibility, so it's a guess for game here. Kills Tortanker. No, doesn't kill Tortanker. I'm
No.
sorry, I can't read. No, this is just a call for game here.
In the back, not quite. But if they were... Oh,
No!
the
Guitar
disrespect!
standing their ground, my lord!
Not the worst thing to do in this situation.
No, not at all.
With that bench of Sleepies being really fast and loose, all they need is time.
UnknownGuitar Masquerie is going to be coming up soon. It's another guess here for whether or not the game continues. If you hit Bandicraft in this slot, it's a really bad... From my perspective, it's a really bad angle. Captain to the front. See where they hit. Back row looking very enticing right now. Hits in the front row! Kalidar catches it!
Oh boy, that's...
That's excited pass.
Does anything
That's a
lift that
tactical
tool?
pass.
Does anything lift that tool now?
A clear field. I don't think so. We'll have to check right now. Nothing.
Is that game?
Nothing lives out to. Oh no! You walk backwards. Make Tortanker receive it. That lives.
Oh, true. But it won't be in very good shape.
No, and also the afterboard is absolutely
Ouch,
chaotic.
ow.
101 damage. GG's.
GG, and that is our other finalist right there, SleepyHR of the Whimsical Wizards.
Good lord.
That was lightning fast. Wow.
Swift dominant fashion was. It's UnknownGuitar didn't even really make a lot of mistakes. Sleepy just picked very precise moments to strike, like you said, dismantling the offense very effectively.
Very effectively and just bursting so much damage.
So fascinating pace and matchup to go over there.
Well, we do know that Sleepy actually submitted 2 teams, so they have the option of switching it up as they go into the finals. But whether they do that or not, I guess our time at the mic is up for today. I'm very excited to see. Very excited to see what comes up next.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around and watch this vision, and the Lord knows. I have been Nero.
Do not miss it.
Yes, playoffs continue to our finalists here shortly.
See you later.
Bye bye.
welcome back to the Division 3 playoffs for the Neo Crown Series. We have Gyrum, our first seed, going up against Sleepy, who you just saw take down UnknownGuitar, and it's me, Aeary, with Mabel here on commentary today.
Hello, it's me, Mabel Beastie Ball. I'm a guest. I'm so hyped to be here.
I
was just gonna say, I was just kind of watching that last game, and I'm like kind of looking at the teams that were bringing into the finals, and oh my god.
Yeah, both of them are looking fairly aggressive. From what we saw in the first match, we saw that Sleepy liked to take a very forward approach and try to secure points as quickly as possible before they ran out of steam. And it looks like they might try to do the same here. We'll have to see if Gyrum is better equipped to handle it than Unknown was. This match...
Something I just wanted to throw in was that I think we're going to see a very different dynamic to this matchup. In the first one, we kind of saw, for the most part, a really bulky team with a lot of slow value-generating plays, things like drums, things like heat up, trying to weather a pretty massive amount of burst from a team that likes to get to the net and just hit you with zigzag and sideways pressure and things like that, even a tool. I don't think that this is going to look quite like that because Gyrum, her team across the board looks like it wants to do the same thing. It's a team that benefits from quick set, from demanding set, massive opportunities for damage and things like floating air blast, in Hunker Grit, and an Albrax to sit on the back of all that pressure. This is a team that wants to end games quickly against a team that wants to end games quickly. So I don't know how long I'm even going to get to be here, but looking at their team...
The one thing that stands out as sort of being a distinction here between these two is obviously one of these Bandicrafts is captain and the other is full focus, which immediately spills which means more blood. But aside that full focus Bandy is a tractor beam Albrax, which I think could well be used to close out. And looks like though in this matchup where it's mostly against mind attackers and is not mind invested defensively, looks like that Albrax will be paper if it ever tries to hit board.
Until you said that, did not notice that it is just raw base defenses Albrax. That's so terrifying.
Yeah. On the whole, this is not a very well mind-invested team from Gyrum. It's mostly the Bandy who's going to have to do a lot of the tanking work here. Very much seems like the pivot on which this whole team will turn. And then, fortunately for Gyrum though, their whole team is tri-type. And so they'll have a more mixed approach because it does look like Sleepy's defenses are a bit more balanced.
Got a slide, pretty good at punishing Skull Copy, got a lot of spirits, which the team doesn't really have anything too bulky for. Though there is an actually really interesting defensive resource in the Skull Copy and the fallback that I eyed earlier, which, with only one threat of sideways being on a bandy that needs to be at the net, might actually be pretty good at buying some time. You can hit fallback and be back in time to catch up with Skull Copy's mind defenses. It might not actually be that easy to break this.
Yeah, for sure. It does seem like whatever way this game goes, it will probably be this Zephyr that determines the tempo, at least initially, I think. It seems like the strongest initial attacker that Sleepy doesn't have an immediate answer for. And I guess we'll see when we get into game if that's who they choose to lead with.
That's right, you swarm in, you kind of want to double block, but you can't do that against Flitting. It's actually very nice that the Kaleidarn has Cyclone for that reason. Let's just jump right into it.
Okay. It
Gyrum
seems...
serving.
Yeah, which I think on this team is probably not something you're upset over. It's very clear there's only one good serve on this team, and it is that Zephyr, who has to go swarm. Yeah, there is an Albrax option, but I mean, on the one hand, you almost immediately have to get rid of the Albrax because it is so mind weak. But at the same time, you're not really ever going to get a safer time to put it in other than the serve. But expected, it is the Zephyr we seek him out here. Answered with...
So Zephyr swarms, and we're passing on the counter serve. We're just gonna open Slippery. Gremler, you have to hit the Skull Copy here, not moving. Just unfazed, and the threat now immediately is you got to do something good enough on this turn to deal with the fact that there is a flitting, quick settable Zephyr making an immediate threat against you. Any damage you do is going to be double blocked probably, with the twist that there's a slice in play. Very funny thing, the addition of Swarm to Beastie Ball in a semi-recent patch, doesn't even feel that long ago, has actually added a lot of value to back row pressure, or back row sideways pressure, because this is something you immediately have to cover. Knowing that, though, it gives us situations like this, where if you're gonna run back, you can't cover the fact that you just went to the net, so you're so punished by having to respect slice there. It's something that some sideways moves, popular ones like cut shot and dump, do not do for you.
And unfortunately, we're immediately seeing one of the problems with Gyrum's team, which is that it's inflexible on serve. It has to open with this Swarm almost always, and if Swarm is not a good answer to your opponent, you don't have one. It's a rough option for sure. Hopefully they'll be able to get a bit of tempo back now. Twist is not the most concerning serve here, though it does mean...
I don't mean to disrupt you, I'm just, like, as you said, well, Twist doesn't look like it's that much tempo, but what does her turn look like here? It is sweep for 50 or dump into a 110 mind defense skull copy, because there is no mix-up with the Bristleiden. That's just another past defense turn. Like, Sleepy isn't at all concerned, really, about how to continue this game, it seems.
Yeah, it does very much seem like the ball is in their court. It does seem like this is sort of a budget Fetch'em setup of gets excited, runs to the front, but also has that stealthy to cover sideways. It seems like it's matching up very well here. I wonder if Gyrum has any plan to answer this. Because, again, if they walk up to try and put Bristleiden in a place where it can set up its quick set, it's being exposed to the back to slice.
That said, you know, Bandycraft did, like, decent amount of progress on the skull copy. It's not really going to sit there forever. And while this twist is helping to negate some of the progress, like the really scary thing, the threat of a deset slide that your skull copy really doesn't want to take, if you just keep twisting the Bristleiden, the Bandycraft's gonna make progress here. Fallback though.
Fallback skull copy is so cool. This is a really cute little combo, and especially with the slippery Gremlin, so it's always active. How neat! I've never seen this before.
It's actually breaking my mind a little bit to watch. I've never seen this before. The fallback slippery, so a straight aiming attack is always going to be redirected to it, like you said. Get the double defense in the back row plus that, and then okay, it's finally I'm having a brain blast. You slippery over to it, it excited passes, you get a forward pass. That's why it's zigzag instead of thrash. So you can work it with a tactical pass later. Okay, Sleepy is cooking.
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, you can see that they're confident with the team. As we said prior, they did bring a second team to the playoffs, and after winning their first match in such defiant fashion, they said, no, I'm sticking with it. Clearly, this one they have cooked with, and they're happy with the result.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love this team. But after watching it, I feel like I just wanted to see another one because I'm just enjoying the Dungeons and Dragons spell naming theme so much. But this is, the current situation we're in right here is one that's quite interesting to me. The Smooth Bristleiden, we're now actually noticing, now that Bandy's already walked up and doesn't have to, can actually heal quite a bit and just kind of shrug off the minimal damage from these twists. And as much as the defense bonuses from fallback are awesome and hilarious, Golkapi is slowly but surely, like 10 damage at a time, gonna run out of stamina here.
Yes.
With that said, I think this still puts Sleepy in a very good spot because looking at the distribution of damage, there's a sweaty Zephyr in the back that's going to be a little bit annoying to get back later. The damage is all entirely concentrated on one beastie. I was going to say it's a good time to sacrifice it if you want to. You basically have full stamina on your team afterwards. But we're not. We're going in for something way more aggressive maybe now that the Bandy's been softened up by an actual zigzag.
Yeah, I suppose zigzag here, if you can take down this Bandycraft, as I said before, that's the only mind tank on Gyrum's team. So if you can mow through it, which this long... Ooh, Poseidon finally, after charging up for so many turns, gets an attack off, and it is devastating. I think this is what they were trying to play around for so long, but...
I was having such a good time just thinking about the repeated fallback loop that I didn't notice that there wasn't another twist there. I just kind of took it for granted. I mean, tagged back in for 14 calculated. But yeah, I don't think that there is, like, the body defenses are not very high across the board. They're not low, but there isn't anything exceptionally body tanky on Sleepy's team. I don't think that there's anything that lives a raw unblocked demanding set from the demanding set slide from Poseidon in the front. So really, Skiffer just comes in, takes a nuke.
An amazing read. It's so tempting to throw out the zigzag here, take down the only mine tank on Gyrum's team, and instead they say, no, you're not leaving in this Bandycraft, I'm going to twist it, you're going to have to pass. And it works out beautifully. Now they get a free turn to reposition their whole board, get rid of this one health Skulker P. I was skeptical of how it was going to do anything when it enters the board with so little health, and Sleepy has shown us how. Simply reading that the opponent will not keep in this Bandycraft. Nor will they swap out to the Poseidon.
God, it's terrifying to tag out the Bandycraft there when there is the threat of a twist serve, but I think unless you're willing to just completely send it on on the rest of your team without the 123 defense mine tank versus this, maybe you have to. I'm concerned. It makes sense, but 40 health Bandycraft is, I think, just as much of a dangerous situation to be in when you're relying on its defenses as one that you're able to get back later. But that said, no longer tormented by twists, Skullcopy may be even further banished at 1. Maybe Poseidon can pick it up from here.
I wonder if this is even that strong of a board save for Sleepy right now, because this pairing on the board right now don't have a way to buff each other. This Gremlin plus Bandycraft, neither of them have any really way to accelerate. As you said before, Poseidon, although he's not mind invested, he is able to heal up with Smooth every single turn. All the while, there's no counterplay to this Air Blast with Flitting that's about to come out. So
no counterplay. What about fallback? What about fallback, excited pass, forward pass? It's finally all making sense to me. What about fallback into? Oh no, that's not full focus. Wrong Bandycraft. I got excited.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think there's anything that lives this this tool. I didn't see the preview there, but off the top of my head, I don't think anyone.
That was quick with it. That almost looked like, if I didn't miss it, it looked like Block lived it? Oh, it doesn't. No, I thought I saw an 8. Okay. Poseidon gone, Tool chunking a sweaty Zephyr down. Oh, I don't know. I think living these nukes with fallback is actually producing like exactly enough bulk, especially with the threat of Sideways gone while Bandycraft has been forced out, so you can just keep hitting fallback. I think if we stay in this kind of game state, Sleepy takes it. It's just exactly enough defense boosts to kind of live through it. Well, I say that, and then I just remembered that there was Jazzed involved. But even just back row defenses being enough to live it is huge.
I wonder if the reason for sending in the Skiff Rig earlier was actually intentional sack. Because looking at the rest of their team, it seems all of their pieces work together to support this Gremlin on this line. And the Skiff Rig is the one piece that isn't super important. But we are able to see there is still room for some points.
I forgot about the tool serve. Easily exploitable by moving the Bandycraft to get the sideways pressure that I just had discounted a little bit. Because you know, unless there's a free ball happening, you're gonna get a chance to dump.
Now this pair is awkward for sure. That looks like it's gonna be game, pretty much. I mean, there's a line here where you can walk back and read it, and then maybe survive.
Yeah, you can walk back with Bandycraft to buy yourself one turn. I mean, it's a forced move. You have to do it or you lose. And obviously, like, you can free ball into Zephyr, but it's hard to make lines like that. It's easy to see why the game ends with an attempt to tag out, because you have to fix your position. If you end up free balling and buying yourself another turn, you might just be delaying a loss. But Sleepy now well on their way to taking this entire thing, undefeated so far in this series. But it didn't look completely free. Like, there was some bite there. There were like moments of discomfort that Gyrum could find.
Now we have to wonder if Gyrum's team works a little better when she's on counter serve. These has switched around. I wonder if we're going to see any tag outs or spawns here. The only defensive line here is Soliloquy. So it's either a walk up, a Soliloquy, or a tag out.
Twist into Soliloquy, hitting away from it, giving it, like, it's weepy now, so it's got walk up grit, it's got hunker grit if you want. I think that this is a really smart two-attacker opener that makes the twist not really feel too good no matter what you do. You're either opening your skull copy up to an active, full power, like walk up slide, or you're going straight into a Soliloquy and eating this grit.
Obviously, the Soliloquy is going to cut down the only damage source that this team has to ramp with, the Jazz. This Excited Pass is going to do a lot less right now.
I've just realized that...
Go ahead.
Although, although the Skull Copy is like a pretty naturally spirit tanky beastie, so much of that defensive investment has to go into body defense due to how much of a hole that is. That, like, like, the whole idea of Slippery here is, like, you're still eating so much damage from that crit in the back row. Like, so much so that it would not surprise me if you weren't doing too much better into trying to fall back here. If you click that, your Gremler's in trouble. This is coming up Gyrum, I think, from this opener. I think she's ahead.
Definitely seems like her adaptation here was stronger. I think recognizing that Bandycraft is not the line here, the twist makes it so that if you're only using mind attacks, you can get walled off by this team. But this mix of spirit and body, I think, does a much better job at making sure it can mow through whatever combination of beasties Sleepy tries to put out. The Skullcopy, who remained on the board for so long in game 1, is first
gone immediately.
Yeah.
Just a +1 grit, enough to do it. And something that I'm noticing really interesting here, actually quite a heads-up idea, is Gyram's not really reacting to her own Soliloquy too much. She didn't feel too much pressure to do anything but block. Keep the Plumask in, and you know what? Let the Plumask drain is what I'm expecting. You have to tag something out now. Persliden's at full stamina. There's no threat of sideways, you can just safely get that out, let whatever happens to Plumask happen, and when it comes back up, it's sweaty. Grit's gonna already be active.
Definitely true, but also it's very tempting to just take, when this tool is guaranteed to go into the top slot, just take the tempo of swapping out the Poseidon and ensuring, and that's exactly what they go for. I think it's risky, as you say. I think the probably safer line is always to just let Plumask wipe to the Weepy here, but
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. You get everything. Poseidon tags out, you have a demanding set to actually, like, make hitting away from it quite a problem.
Cyclone out, but
that though.
It's only mitigating 2 boosts worth, it's not stopping the buff from the grit. And it does mean that instead of wiping to Weepy, it goes onto the bench, which is probably a bad
at 39? Wait,
yeah,
I actually don't know this. Does Cyclone not take away the boost from grit? 24? I think it might have, because Weepy goes away when you're on the bench, right?
Oh, I guess I would have thought timing-wise, it would have been... Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah. My bad.
So, like, Jazz
then
stays on it, but Weepy's, like, gone immediately, and... I mean, who knows? 89 Spirit Defense right there, uninvested, 24 from Grit, that feels like a 55 power attack. I don't know, I can't do math. But, like, it works so well for Sleepy then. I, like, just completely missed how good that Cyclone was into the Bandy pivot.
It's funny that of these 2 teams, one of these Bandies is captain, one of them is full focus, but it's actually the one who's captain who has more attack invest and the stronger attack in tool. So as we see here, when Caladarn is hit, it's not a double tactical pass that comes out, but it's rather 2 clear fields to keep the team topped up. Sleepy believes that if this board state continues, they'll be able to take it. And I guess we'll see if that's right. Now, for the first time this set, the mix-up is online. What you're very familiar with, Mabel.
I was actually really happy when I saw these 2 together. I feel like I'm looking at a high school reunion picture, and I know these people. The quick set whoosh for Sliden, the D set sideways Bandycraft. I mean, I don't want to take credit for this. I lost to this with Balmar on the other side of the game so many times, and I couldn't find a better way to use these 2. It's such a potent combo. But it's hitting me seeing this investment into the slide that the Cyclone is so good. It's not that easy to click because, like, there is sideways pressure here. There is a mix-up of quick set dump. But with that in mind, you know, do you read that your opponent's gonna just Cyclone in the face of that? Like, the slide makes perfect sense to go for too, even if it ends up being a little bit softer here.
Yeah, unfortunately it does come down to a read, and for Sleepy here, they read right. Sliden is off the board, and with that, I think that's quite a big tempo hit for Gyrum. I think they really needed that point there to be able to serve and then swap out this low health Bandy. But now, oof, it manages to live. But now with 2 low health beasties on the board.
But, ooh, okay. But Gyrum's not... It's a lot of damage. It's a very low board. But Gyrum isn't out of attacks here, quite the opposite. There's sideways pressure, but also for the first time, Cyclone, due to a new way that things have been reworked, is not that good against Air Blast. Air Blast now is hard-coded to always get the net bonus. So while the D set's adding a lot of damage there, that was hovering 61 to 52 and would have still knocked it out under a Cyclone because it doesn't take that away from specifically Sapphire. And that happens while there's sideways pressure. Sleepy kind of really squeezed to give a point.
It's highlighting one of the strengths of Gyrum's team building here, where all of its different attackers require a lot of different answers from you in order to deal with them. The mix-up of the sideways with quick set, the air blast that prevents block, the slide with whoosh that lets you get to the net, and alongside that, as you say, Cyclone is not a clean answer to all of them. Here,
I totally agree, and also as we kind of like get into like this sort of endgame we're reaching, that was a really interesting twist. Sleepy understands. I think that shows a strong understanding from Sleepy that they're on game point here. And although there's a mix-up that's actually pretty clean to get a point with that zigzag, it's quite dangerous here to take a point because you would be giving Gyrum a clean pivot. 2 tag outs, give the point back, and you don't have one left. You'd be risking, by taking that point, the Bandy just cleanly swapping out into an Albrax for your sweaty 61 stamina Skull Copy. You wouldn't have a chance to get out of there. So that's like a really technical twist to play.
So we see here, the twist comes out, and paired with the Cyclone, it's a very strong combination. Twist one, Cyclone the other. But on the other hand, we see a rare interaction where Hunker is used in order to avoid being cycloned. The Plumask is allowed to stay on the board, although the bench is rotated. And as a result, they stay boosted. Their defense... Oh, but their defense is not high enough to live this, regardless.
This is a +2 zigzag at max things, because like that was a tactical pass earlier into the twist, and then into a zigzag. So... okay. This works out for Sleepy, I think, because this Skull Copy is draining on the end of this serve. You can open with a twist to try to get rid of the strongest option that Gyrum has to nuke you back, probably this Grit. And because it's going to drain to the Sweaty, the 17 health Sweaty Skull Copy, the danger of that I was thinking about earlier, it's not there. The Albrax can't come in to keep it in. It's wiped. That was actually a really narrow, like, kind of threading the needle of the biggest threat Gyrum had to close this game out right away. Like, beautifully playing around Albrax by that.
Yep. Sleepy does opt here not to take down the stronger attack of the Grit, but instead opts to narrow what possible things could have come in and caused a problem.
Right.
Knows that if this is what they're twisting, it will always be Plumask that attacks, and is able to find a line through that they feel confident in. Does Provoke coming down prevents any further soliloquy, or even block? I don't know.
I didn't know that was stirring. I just forgot this entire time. That's
my god.
It makes sense. There's no reason for it to be stagecraft, but I also would have provoked it because I just forgot. I always forget about stirring.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, twisting it is still fine. Like, you won't be shook afterwards. But, oh my lord, the soliloquy.
And
makes sense, it's a lot of pressure. Maybe the Plumask was also in a lot of danger itself, but, like, just like that, crazy endgame. Crazy adaptation to a spot where it looks like you could be shooting for, like, 2 points in a row right there. But Sleepy sees the threat of an Albrax coming in, gets to a position where the Skull Copy serves without being threatened of getting trapped in by Tractor Hex because it wipes, and then just kind of cleanly looks for a way to finish the game. So
I love how in that game too, we got to see the full team building of both teams on display. It felt like everyone got to go out using all guns blazing, and I think both of them had some really smart lines. But Sleepy, I think, a little better mastery of their team, is able to see the final line and clinch it.
There's a lot of good stuff a lot of things that I was happy to see from Gyrum. The threat of Air Blast under Cyclone, totally new interaction that's so easy to forget. Using Hunker like that, making sure that as Sleepy starts to lean more and more on Cyclone, that you're leaning into your attackers, keeping Bandy in play for that sideways pressure to punish it. Something that I increasingly noticed, especially at the end there though, that Albrecht couldn't come in. It's so difficult to tag it in and finish anything off, and the one chance it looked good, Sleepy just played so carefully to make sure that it couldn't lock in the most threatened beastie they had in. So
yeah,
I think that these were incredible games to watch.
Yeah, for sure. The Albrechts being unable to hit the board at any point made it so it was more of a 5v4. And unfortunately, it did seem like Gyrum's team wasn't able to make use of a single turn of the tractor beam efficiently enough, such that they'd be able to take something down. And probably in no small part because of the twist that always ensured that no matter what board state CP was facing, they'd be able to ensure only one person could attack. They felt like the Skulk P was the main sort of character of this set, which surprised me, because Game 1 very much made it seem like it would be Bandicrafts.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still kind of shook from it, because, like, I think Gyrum seeking that chance to put the Albrechts in looked incredibly precise. Like, I absolutely saw the logic. You're up 2 points, you're looking for a chance to give up a point, you don't really mind too much that your beasties are low, and the second that point gets taken, the Albrechts comes in and finishes the game. Such a common pattern for Albrechts to play like that. But the awareness it takes sometimes to not take a point when you could, to not just kind of gun for the moment where you could just score and keep going and make progress, because giving your opponent that extra defense turn to pivot as they like that's a very hard thing to see. And generally between these two games that made up the Division 3 playoffs, I feel like every player I saw like made a lot of interesting and cool adaptations and played well, but we just watched Sleepy play so well for 4 games in a row back to back, with such an interesting team that has stuff on it I've never seen before.
Yes, very original. I really enjoyed it. And it was funny to see how not just like 1 or 2 parts work together, but everything seemed to facilitate this Gremlin working together alongside Slippery in a way where it's not even the Gremlin itself who's generating that much value, but just having a consistent core so you know what it's always going to be alongside allowed Sleepy to have the rest of the team fill one consistent role and slot. I thought it's really interesting. And as you say, 4 games back to back, very quick succession, very little blunders to be seen throughout them. A really impressive series from them, and they are now our inaugural Division 3 Neo Crown Series champion.
Congratulations, Sleepy, and also well played to all the other players. Like, even making it to the playoffs is like, you have to win a lot of games for that. You have to have really accomplished it. That's like an incredible thing to be proud of. And yeah, like, these were great games that I was really happy to get to watch and cast.
Yeah, really wonderful. I think with that, we'll probably call our commentary to a close. Hopefully, this time next week, we'll be bringing you Division 2 playoffs, depending on what the availability of the finalists for that is. But once again, thanks everyone for coming out, and thank you, Mabel, for casting.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Bye.